Liverpool want Yunus Musa to replace Naby Keita. Liverpool have struggled to live up to high expectations and maintain their top claim so far this season, and Jürgen Klopp is certainly becoming more and more disappointed with every bad performance. The Reds are currently 6th in the Premier League after their first 17 games. He's only amassed 28 points out of a possible 51 so far. That puts them currently 7 points behind the Champions League qualifying spot. Liverpool's position in the league and their lack of progress in the Carabao Cup are seen as a reflection of their poor performance, complemented by a lack of investment in their midfield. Anfield managers have made some notable signings in the last 12 months, including Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo and Darwin Nunez. However, the immediate problem remains in the midfield. A number of players' contracts expire in the summer. Also, names like Thiago Alcantara and Jordan Henderson continue to progress into their 30s. All in all, this month's transfer window is a golden opportunity to strengthen the midfield ranks at Anfield. It is a period that should not be wasted by Julian and his friends, and a good strategy should be determined. Because if Liverpool can't take the top 4 at the end of the season, they may not be able to transfer potential names that they will include in the transfer window next summer. He cannot afford to lose any more points for this reason. One of the players linked to the Merseyside transfer is Valencia's US midfielder Yunus Musa, a talented prospect who could be the perfect player to kick off the much-needed youth revolution at Anfield. The 20-year-old player caught the attention of the football world with his contributions to the national team during the World Cup. Klopp could capitalize on the teen's promising output by making a move for him and then making him the next superstar to wear the famous red jersey. Described as special by his US teammate Tyler Adams, Musa recorded 2 assists in 13 La Liga games this season, created 3 big chances and had an 83% pass completion rate. He also did 1.9 fights and won 4.4 duels per game. The young sensation is also in the top 11% of positional peers in Europe's top 5 leagues. Based on completed dribbles and progressive passes, Liverpool could also be a long-term successor, replacing Naby Keita for just £17.6 million. The Guinean midfielder is preparing to part ways with the Reds at the end of the season when his contract expires. After 4.5 years of injury-filled Anfield at Anfield, Klopp will be looking for a hard-working and upright player to replace Keita. With that in mind, signing Musa can be a great piece of work. It can give great hope to become the ideal midfielder in the future. He could also offer a short-term solution to Klopp and increase his chances of increasing the Reds' chances of making it into the top 4 for the rest of the league. Youssoufa Moukoko update by Fabrizio Romano. Allegations that Youssoufa Moukoko made an exaggerated transfer request were denied by Fabrizio Romano. Liverpool are still connected with the player. Recent reports had claimed that Youssoufa Moukoko wanted a £9 million contract commission. The young player's contract will expire in the summer and he can leave Borussia Dortmund. But they still hope to renew their deal, and that's where the allegations come into play. The suggestion was that the interest from the bigger clubs had turned Moukoko's head and led to huge demands. However, Romano says that is not the case and Moukoko wants a reasonable deal. From what I've been told, there is still a chance for him to stay and extend his contract with Borussia Dortmund. There are conversations going on. Also, let me tell you, there's a lot of fake news floating around this kid. $10 million to sign a new contract, Romano said. We heard that he was asking for a commission of €10 million and we were told that this is absolutely not true. Moukoko has never asked for a commission of €10 million. That's why I wanted to clarify that, said. This is certainly good news for Liverpool. Sportbild claims the Reds are an interested party here. Moukoko is one of the best young forwards on the planet and at the age of 18 he is achieving incredible things. The fact that it is available in a free transfer makes it quite remarkable. We can't remember the last time such a good talent ended his contract this early. Liverpool can definitely make room for him. Roberto Firmino's contract expires at the end of the campaign and there may be a place for Moukoko. Whether Liverpool can really give the youngster the game time he wants is another matter. He's much more likely to get it in Dortmund, so he can stay there. But this is a player of crazy talent, and someone who has claimed an unbelievable £9 million. While it's good that they don't want that kind of money, Liverpool should definitely learn what to buy. Liverpool did not sign to replace Origi and Minamino last summer, and the gap was a vexing option for Klopp. Klopp used it very effectively, especially by including Origi later in the game, and benefited greatly from the player's contribution. Even though he gave him a backup role, he got a very good contribution when the game got tight and the score was needed. But this season, she has no choice but to make a move in these situations, and Moukoko can improve quite a lot in this role. He can both increase his contribution to Liverpool and find the time he expects relatively. His physique and play style are reminiscent of Origi, and he is still very young. Everyone must be excited about Klopp turning into a totally different goal machine in their hands. A new name has been added to the Reds' midfielder shortlist. Liverpool have added Real Sociedad midfielder Mikel Merino to their midfield shortlist. According to Italian journalist Rudy Galetti, Merino is on the shortlist of Jürgen Klopp, which includes names like Yuri Tielemans and Piotr Zielinski. Jude Bellingham reportedly sits at the top of this shortlist. However, Real Madrid allegedly remained in a pole position to sign the 19-year-old player. Sofiane Amrabat and Moises Caicedo are said to be two more names that will feature prominently in Liverpool's thinking. Underneath these two though, Merino reportedly got into the frame. This is perhaps a bit of a short-term link for Liverpool. But Merino certainly wouldn't be a bad sign. Fans who only watch the Premier League may be surprised by this. Merino was ultimately a flop during his time at Newcastle United. Big things were expected from the player who came to the northeast from Borussia Dortmund. Chronicle reporter Mick Quinn compared the player to that of Liverpool legend Xabi Alonso and described him as enormous in the process. But for one reason or another, Merino has only played 25 times for Newcastle. He was then sent to Real Sociedad after just one season for around £10 million. The 26-year-old has really taken his game up a notch since then. Having become a key player for Real Sociedad, Merino won the Copa del Rey and made 11 appearances for Spain on his way back home. All this means it could be worth the reported £50 million release clause. The Alonso comparisons may have proven to be exaggerated. But Merino could still be a good choice for Liverpool. The Spanish star maintains his form this season and continues his stable performance. The 26-year-old player scored 1 goal in 15 games for Real Sociedad in La Liga, and managed to make 7 assists. According to Mikel Merino's Transfermarkt data, its market value is shown as €50 million. The player's contract with his club runs until the 30th of June 2025, which shows that his club will hardly accept a discounted offer. Liverpool desperately need a player to add to their midfield. Mikel Merino fits the profile to make Klopp's directives in midfield. Let's wait and see if anything more concrete happens.